2020 is the year that when we look back, we'll realize that we did everything on Zoom. That includes church meetings. So I thought it'd be fun to have a behind the scenes look on how we conduct some of these church meetings, especially on the Lord's Day, as some people call Sunday or Sunday service. Anyway, we're going to look back on these years and say, wow, those were weird times. But we're going to forget some of the details on how we ran some of these meetings. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to kind of document on what we did. But first, let me start with some of the equipment I used. And let me just say that this is overkill. And this is this is my interest of kind of video production, photography and video. And so let me just kind of briefly run through some of the equipment I have on this desk or on this setup. First, let me start from the top and then I'll go to the bottom. First, I have the LED light that's a little bit off frame. If we move down a little bit, there is a boom mic or a shotgun mic attached to a boom arm. And that allows me to be hands-free, not have anything in my face, and that's just out of frame. And of course I have my two monitors there. And then around my ears I have some earphones. I'm not going to go too much into detail on the equipment, the brands in general. I'll do a separate video on my desk setup, which I've been teasing for maybe since the beginning of this pandemic. But the thing I'm touching there, the thing that has all the blinking lights there, is a video switcher there. It allows me to switch between my main camera, which I forgot to mention is my Sony camera, mirrorless camera, and that's being hooked into that video switcher called the A10 Mini. Then I also have a number of things that I can hook up into there, meaning other cameras and other inputs. So at the bottom of the screen, I have another laptop there. That's my work laptop. And that is from that is hooked up into also the A10 Mini, and I'm able to switch into that. And I'll explain later what I'm doing with that laptop as well. So that's kind of the setup. I know it's overkill, but let me go into kind of the background on how we conduct these meetings as well. So a little bit of a setup. So I have another brother named David who's hosting the meetings, as he's in charge of muting people, playing the music when we do sing, and taking care of the breakout rooms. And then my job as a co-host is also to display what hymns we're singing, and then also to help mute people that have a lot of background noise. So we're just trying to eliminate a lot of background noise. Speaking of singing, the way we do the singing is David plays music, piano music, through a YouTube link or through the hymnal.net site, playing the MIDI files while we're singing, and everyone is muted. And one thing we've learned quickly is if you sing with more than one person on Zoom, it's never in sync. And imagine 50 to 55 people average a week trying to sing. It's not very pleasant. So one thing that we do is just, mute everyone, but play the music. And that's playing off David's computer. But what I'm doing with this video switcher, if you could see at the laptop there, is I have Google Slides running on the laptop, and I put it on presentation mode. And once we're ready to sing, I put it in presentation mode there, and then I switch to that video, and then also so everyone can see what hymn we're singing. And what we're doing is we spotlight my video. That way, David can still play the music while I am showing my screen as what hymn we're singing. Now here, my job is to give the announcements, so I share my screen, and I don't share the screen on the laptop. It's back on my main computer. The reason why we do it that way is the share screen puts the screen right up front in people's screens right up front. So we're ensuring that they do pay attention more. So this is a little trick that we do. We want to make sure people do get the announcements better. So, yep, that's what we do there. Now, after the announcements, we do have someone who gives an intro to the morning revival or to the material that we're going over. And so in this case, like this morning's meeting was with Titus. So Titus is there now giving the intro. And while this is going on, what David is doing behind the scenes is forming the breakout rooms. So that's what he's doing there. And after Titus gives his intro, then we go out into the breakout rooms after that. So after the opening word, we're in breakout rooms now, and we're in about 3 breakout rooms, anywhere between 12 to 15 people on average. And so this is a time where everyone can share what they enjoy. And this time is about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how many announcements we've had and other special events that are going on. So yeah, this is a good time for everyone to participate in the meetings after that. So after about 15 to 20 minutes, we're back in the main room, and there's a brother who gives a conclusion. So in this case, it was Russell. And as you can see, I'm doing a split screen or dual mode in Zoom, where the small window has a speaker, and I'm always trying to view the big room and making sure there's no distracting videos. We want to try to mute people who are too loud. Typically, we don't get too many of those, and those people who are, they usually don't know that they have some loud noise coming from their end, so it's not a big deal. Anyway, this has been a kind of a quick look behind the scenes of how we've been conducting some of these meetings. Again, my setup is a little bit overkill, or very much overkill. I just wanted to make sure that when we're doing these meetings, that I can help run them as smoothly as possible. Anyway, until the next one. See ya.